Hello and welcome back to Calradia 1403. We're going to be recruiting a couple of prisoners here, which is what I've actually been doing for the past episode or so. We've just kind of been, taking those prisoners, and anyone that's of note is added to our ranks. Yes, that seems like a pretty good idea, doesn't it? Anyway, what we're also going to do is we're going to attempt to take Tamna Castle. Now, this is indeed a Saranid fief, which for some reason has a very limited garrison. I don't know why, but basically what I did was I went through Saranid territory, basically the entire thing, because I wanted to see what the weak spots were, and I wanted to see if there were any, big holes in their defenses. And, well, it looks as though this is indeed one of those holes, and so what we're going to do is we're going to try to penetrate it as hard as we possibly can. Now, the one problem with that is that we are a little bit floppy at the moment. Now, if we can just make sure that we don't have too many losses here, and go in as fast as we can and be as efficient as possible when it comes to our penetrating of their defenses, then we are going to be okay. But you can see here, look at how much damage they're already doing to us. They are inflicting a lot of damage already, and that is remarkable. That is absolutely remarkable. It's one of those, it's one of those cases where you just kind of go, I'm not entirely sure what we could have done about that. And then I just go, well, yeah, you know what? It's just the tax. It's the siege tax. Like I've, talked about in previous episodes, basically, it's the tax that just happens whenever you're doing a siege or a battle or anything like that. It's just the natural cost of stuff that just manually happens, It's just one of those, well, not manually, automatically happens, as you are going to have situations like this. And in general, there's not much you can do about it. But thankfully, because we are now on the walls, my forces are now able to do massive damage, and we should be able to make our way through the streets and absolutely murder them all. Now, the reason why I actually went over here instead of going to one of the other places nearer to our territory, or nearer to Rhodoks territory, that is because there were massive armies in the area. Literally a couple of moments away, you'd have to be fighting an army of over 1,000 troops. And, well, let's just say that I wasn't really interested in fighting 1,000 troops. That would be a little bit too much for me. It's one of those cases where you just go, yeah, you know what, I'd rather not, thank you very much. And then you just kind of extricate yourself from the situation, and then everything's fine, and everything's dandy, But, it is, it is very much, that's the reason why I came over here, because I was like, oh yes, we need to make sure that we are, not going to be preyed upon by something like that, because a literal army of over 1,000, and then there was another army, by the way, there were literally two armies with, the second army had 600, 700, and the other one had 1,000, and I thought, you know what? Get me out of here. Get me out of here. So I basically just left them where they were, because they're besieging something right now. I think they've probably taken it by now, most likely, because they were besieging it a couple of days ago in-game. And, yeah, we should be absolutely fine now. And there's the battering ram, that's now completely fine here. And the siege tower should be fine too. I actually think that this is a pretty good strategy in general for dealing with, standard layouts of castles and towns and things like that. It feels to me like a one battering ram, one siege tower setup seems to be, in my opinion at least, kind of good. Because basically what happens is, as you saw at the very beginning, we got the ladders up, right? We got the ladders up, we approach from one side, and then this basically causes the enemy to overcommit on that particular side, and then we, well, have pretty much free reign to do whatever we want in the other areas where we're attacking. Or at least that is the hope, of course. So basically, it's just all a case of, shall we say, misdirection. I think misdirection is the name of the game. It's a whole Darren Brown thing, isn't it? If you remember him. Maybe you don't know him. It very much depends on... well, it depends on if you're English, I guess. If you're, you know, if you've seen British TV, then you might know him. But I think he also did go over to America at some point. I think he did become quite big in general. And not stature-wise, but, you know, stardom-wise, because obviously, you know, he did become quite big. Next thing you know, he's the size of the Statue of Liberty. No, I don't even know. Anyway, that is beside the point. He was obviously a master of misdirection and suggestion and so on and so forth, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Fact is, misdirection in the case of strategy when it comes to this, it seemed to work pretty well. Maybe we should give it a go again at a place that has slightly more defenders, and or maybe we're going to have the ability to starve out the next garrison, because I didn't starve these guys out. They had 26 days worth of food, so I wasn't really interested in that. Anyway, 100 renown for us right there. Oh, look at this. We've got some of these guys. Ah, they're actually looking pretty nice. Yeah, they're looking pretty nice. The archers, not so much. They have 150 in bows, but that's pretty much it. Everything, I mean, they've got terrible archers. I mean, they've got good ranged skills, but everything else about them is just terrible. So you're going to have to rely on the cavalry and the Varangian guards with the infantry there. That's definitely going to be the way to go. Then we'll just take the Varangian guards and the Mamluk. We'll take the horsemen as well, and then we're just going to basically leave everything else. I don't think I want anything else here. Because that's the point. Because we are very much deep, well, not really deep in enemy territory, because we're kind of on the edge of it right now, but basically we're far away from anything allied. We do have neutral towns nearby, because obviously we've got, you know, this one over here, we got Danustica and everything, so there is potential, you know, there is potential for us to go wherever we want, but I don't really want to do that right now. So what we're going to do is we'll get a good day's rest, 10% hit point regeneration while waiting in settlements. I personally like that a great deal. And we're just going to go over to Amarad. Now, this is indeed, look at that, 333, actually quite surprising. Yeah, quite surprising that they have such a small contingent of troops in the garrison here. So this is going to be very interesting. Let's see if we can make this work as well. Okay, ooh, 10 days worth of food. All right, I am very, very pleased about this. This means that, well, yeah, I think you know what this means. I'm going to wait until we starve them out a little bit, and maybe, who knows, maybe one of the enemy armies will see fit to come all the way over here. This is also the reason why I decided to come all this way, because I wanted to basically make it so that the enemy had to decide what they wanted to do. Whether they wanted to stay over in the border territory between the Rhodoks and you know, the Saranid territory, or whether they wanted to come over here and attack us. And as you can see, they are indeed choosing to attack us, which I must admit, I think is weird. I think that is a bit strange. But you know, let me just let you know right now that the armies that I did see, I took a look at what they had available, and it was mostly recruits. So let's see whether that's actually the case here. Now, this is obviously a pretty nice. All right, okay, wait. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so these guys, wow, we have loads of infantry. I think we have way too many infantry, to be honest, but all right, well, let's just put these guys into a shield wall. We're gonna be a bit relaxed about this. I'm not gonna be super concerned with what we have to do here, because I have a feeling we're probably gonna be okay. We do have quite a few cavalry as well. We've got 25. Not as many as I'd like, of course, but good enough. Good enough. Okay, so, yeah, my archers will be okay here. Let's just move these guys this way. And we'll tell our cavalry to charge in. And then we should be fine. Yeah, that's okay. And now let's just actually see what we could do here, because obviously I can do a lot of damage to the enemy archers. So I will just slice them up. Well, I mean, it's not really slicing, is it? Because we have this polearm. I'm not entirely sure. What does this polearm do? Is it a slashing pole? It's not really a slashing polearm, is it? I don't think so. It's more of a piercing polearm or a blunt polearm or something like that. So, but it is massive damage. That's all I can say. It is extremely satisfying to use. Gotta say that. That is one of those, it's one of those weapons, you know? It's one of those weapons that you generally just go, yeah, this is a weapon I like. Oh yeah, I'd like to use this every day. You know what I mean? It's one of those. So I very much appreciate it. And we otherwise, well, as you can quite clearly tell, yeah, they don't have anything on us right here. This is exactly why I was saying to you, yeah, I don't think we really need to worry about it, because these guys, they just get murdered. They just get absolutely murdered. And yeah, sure, okay, fine. You know, to a certain degree, the enemy's cavalry is indeed probably running around pretty freely right now, and we're not really going to have a great opportunity to eliminate them that much, because they do have pretty good armor, as you can see. So it is going to be a bit more difficult for us to eliminate them. And there it is, the victory, with very few casualties. Look at that, 2 deaths on our side right there. 77 renown is our reward for it, and indeed we are going to be, I guess, capturing a bunch of people? I don't really know, to be honest. It's one of those things where you kind of think to yourself, is it actually worth me capturing these guys or not? You know what I mean? It's, I don't know, it's a little bit strange. Because you think, you know, I feel like always the difference between Warband and Bannerlord and the way that it deals with vassals. Because that's the funny thing. In Warband, you do not have a 100% chance to capture enemy vassals, you know, or potentially, right? So sometimes there is sometimes they're going to escape, because that's just how it is. It's not a 100% every single time. Now, we are going to be attacked by these guys. This is really interesting, actually. I'm so surprised, to be honest, that the Sarranids are deciding to come over here and actually attack us. I think that's really weird, to be honest. I think that is actually really, really strange. I definitely would not have imagined that they would do this, but apparently they wanted to for some unknown reason, because they basically had to, as I said, they had to go through the entirety of Sarranid territory to get over here. And I think that's really weird. I think that is actually super, super strange, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure why they would do such a thing, but if they want to, then, you know, what am I going to say? You know, what am I going to say about that? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be going here. I'm going to change up how I've played this time. We're not going to use the rocks that much. We're just going to basically use it to prevent flanks from the enemy's cavalry. So we're just going to move our infantry into the middle between them, and hopefully that's going to maybe act as a bit of an obstacle to the cavalry. It might not, dependent on what they decide to do, dependent on which angle the opponent is going to come from. But we can hope, right? We can hope. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, so they are actually coming in, or at least the infantry is coming in. Let's see where the cavalry is coming in. Okay, they're coming in from over here. Okay, wait a minute. Do they have 2 contingents? Yes, they do. Okay, so I am basically just going to be sending my cavalry over here to deal with the enemy's cavalry. And my infantry should be completely fine. So let's just tell my cavalry to charge in now. They're going to immediately charge at the enemy's cavalry, as you can see right there. and they are most likely going to absolutely destroy the enemy, or at least they should. Or perhaps not. Or perhaps not, all intents and purposes. Ah, I see. Are they skirmishing against us? Oh, that's very interesting. Oh, okay. We might want to tell my forces to charge in then. Ha. No, they're going for it now. They're going for it now. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, I was a bit worried there for a second because, you know, thrown weapons, I don't know how effective thrown weapons actually are in RBM. I don't think they're that effective. But to have that many, you know, to have that many being thrown at our forces, I was a bit worried there for a second, you know. I thought to myself, we're going to have some massive casualties incoming in just a moment, but no, it doesn't seem like it. Alright. Yep, should be fine, should be fine. Okay, and obviously we do have our archers continuing to fire here, and our cavalry, I have no idea where they are, but I'm just going to let them do whatever, because they're more than likely doing something useful. And maybe I can... Oh, no. He basically decided to go the other way. I was going to say, oh yes, let's murder that cavalry person. But no. He decided against it. Ah, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to tell these guys to charge in. I'm going to keep them in a shield wall right now. Going to keep them in a shield wall formation, but we're going to tell them to be a bit aggressive now. And, yeah, okay, fine. I am going to change them in formation if we need to, because obviously there is going to be a case where we are going to need to chase them sometime in the near future. And if that is indeed the case, then we'll be ready for them. Yes, we'll be ready. So let's be a bit aware. Let's be a bit aware of things. There we go. Very nice, very nice. And I believe that is indeed it. Yes, I am going to put them in the lion formation to tell our archers to charge. And I believe this is literally going to cause them either... Okay, now here's the thing. Either we're going to overextend here and we're going to get ourselves killed, which is a possibility, or we are just going to push home our advantage, and this is going to be game over for the opponent. You know, it's going to be one of those cases, you know, so it's either, it's one or the other. It's one or the other. We can only hope that it's going to be the one where we end up actually doing something good and not getting ourselves defeated. But who knows? Who knows? No, it seems... No. They're not going to have anything against us right here. This is absolutely a done deal, in my opinion. And the fact that we can charge into these guys and do so much damage, it's just amazing. Love that. There we go. Hit them in the face. Oh, what? How did my horse die? Was my horse actually injured and I didn't realize? Okay, well, I'm gonna die here. Nothing I can do about that. That was a face hit as well. And there's the victory. Obviously, I died right at the end of the battle. You know, that's a classic and a half, isn't it? Yeah, so 122 renown for us, 114 influence. Pretty nice. And we can indeed, once again, just capture a bunch of people.
I yield. Enough.
Wow, look at that. Absolutely insane amounts of people, too. Alright, so we're just going to move on. Not gonna capture anyone or anything like that, and we're just gonna take people. I am literally overweight right now, which is really bad. We're a little bit over cucumbered, aren't we? Yes, you know, if you think about Elder Scrolls and you think about the way that the weight system works in that game, yeah, over cucumbered is absolutely terrible. So, you know, put some points into strength, why don't you? Yeah, something like that. I actually haven't played Elder Scrolls for a very long time, so yeah, there is that. Anyway, I'm not gonna be accepting any of these ransom offers. I don't think. I don't think that's gonna be particularly good for me. And I'm just gonna wait another 5 days and see if we can starve them out. Well, what do we have here? Yes, we have the army that I told you about earlier. This is the one with 1,000 troops. They actually had over 1,000 beforehand, but now they have 950. But, you know, who's counting, right? Who cares? 1,000, 950, basically the same thing. So anyway, we're going to go in. We're actually going to go in against these guys, and we're going to see how it works to fight in... Okay, it's not the exact same battlefield, at least. Okay, this is actually fantastic, by the way, for us. We're gonna go over... Oh, we can't go over there. As you can see, the red barrier is literally right there. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate. We might be able to make this work, going over here. Alright, let's go over there. Alright, let's see now. Oh no, the red barrier is really close. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate. Okay, I guess what we'll do... It's right here? Oh, that's sad. Okay, yeah, that's... Oh, that's pretty annoying, actually. We're right at the edge of the battlefield. All right, well, I guess I guess wish me luck, eh? Wish me luck. This is gonna be a fight and a half. My horse is crippled as well, by the way, and I did not exchange it. So that's not very good, but well, I can't really do much about it now. We're just gonna put these guys like this, put them into a loose formation, put these guys into a shield wall, and then the cavalry can just go over there. Okay, that should be absolutely fine. Now, we can... I think we'll probably be okay if we just wait here. Let's just see what the enemy decides to do. The question is... I mean, this is pretty good. I feel like this is a pretty decent location for us to hold position. But, I'm not a big fan of... Not a big fan of the enemy's cavalry. I'm going to see if I can maybe get my cavalry to attack them. I'm kind of hoping that we'll be able to manipulate our charge order to make it so that they do. They might. Yes, indeed they are. Okay, that's fantastic. Let's hope that my cavalry actually does a good job. Because the enemy does have a bunch of Mamluks as well, by the way, so we might actually have to retreat from this. Which would be pretty sad. All intents and purposes. It would be fantastic if we could actually survive this. Oh, nice. Wow, I'm actually surprised I hit that. Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, taking some damage here. Wow, that was some pretty big damage, actually. Not a big fan. Not a terribly big fan of that. Oh, no. Okay. I don't know, actually. I don't know. I think the only thing I can really do is just try to do as much damage as possible. And if I die, then I die. You know, that's that's basically what it comes down to, I think, at this point. Because otherwise, I'm just going to be sitting at the back of the battlefield doing basically nothing. And or if I were to attack the enemy's cavalry, I'm probably not even going to be able to do that much damage to them, because most of them are going to have relatively decent armor. At least the Mamluks will. And I don't really want to deal with them. Hilariously enough, though, it does feel pretty doable. What's actually going on here? Why are they letting us win this? It feels to me like they're letting us win this, but... Okay, that's very weird. What? They're running away? Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Right, we literally lost nothing, basically. Okay, I'm gonna tell my guys to hold fire. Tell the cavalry to come back here. And we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait them out. Because they're gonna come back. Right? They're gonna come back after they get some reinforcements, aren't they? If they don't, then that's very funny, because this is, I mean, I don't really want to... I personally don't really want to go over there. But... No, they're coming. They're coming. Okay. So we could basically just wait here, and then they will do that. This is also the reason why I absolutely love the super speed mod, because without the super speed, I would literally be standing here for... What, 5 minutes? I don't know. Something like that, waiting for the AI to come across the entirety of the map. So, yeah, anyway, let's tell our archers to fire at will once again. Tell our cavalry to charge. And we should be good. Do some damage. Oh, with my one-handed? Okay, I'm not sure why I brought out my one-handed, but okay. Oh, what a classic. That was fantastic. I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice that I had my one-handed out. I mean, there's no reason for me to use that. But, yeah, there you go. Alright. Everything is good, though. Everything is absolutely fine, and we are looking relatively good right now. We are looking very good, in fact, because we have literally 15 casualties, basically. 15 casualties total, which is insanely good, and we really don't have anything to worry about. It's actually staggeringly weird. Ah, here we go. Okay, I am literally going to charge in now. No, not follow me, you absolute imbeciles. Not follow me. Okay, put them into a line formation. Okay, now we can maybe tell these guys to go into an auto-delegate. I'm going to tell them to do that just so that they can skirmish if necessary. And we are basically just going to we're going to just push the advantage now, because I was a bit worried about the second wave of troops, because the second wave could potentially include a bunch of higher tier units, whereas the third wave probably doesn't have that many, and they're more than likely just going to have things like, you know, militia and recruits and various things like that. So we're not really going to have to worry too much about it, whereas obviously the second wave we might, you know, we might be seeing a bunch of Mamluks and things. Ah, there we go. You lost your horse. Okay, well, that's fine. That's not too big of a deal. And indeed, I am not getting clobbered this time, so that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, we are actually doing pretty well there. And my forces are just murdering. There is very little that the opponent can do at this point, and indeed they're coming in. They're actually showing themselves to be pretty brave, to be honest. Oh, now they're running. Well, there you go. Now they're running. I was going to say, oh yes, they're pretty brave to be attacking us right now, because, you know, considering we have an overwhelming advantage. Look at the units that they're using, though. These guys are primarily just recruits and volunteers and stuff like that at the end here. And that's the reason why I was like, yeah, we should probably push the advantage now, because as I said, second wave, unlikely. For you know, for the third wave though, definitely. That was a good idea. Anyway, we're just going to be taking them all prisoner. Just take them all prisoner. That's what we're going to do. There you go. Absolutely every single one taken prisoner. And now I have no idea how many. I mean, look at this. Look at how many vassals I've literally taken prisoner in the last, what, 15 minutes or something like that. I mean, these guys literally just basically handed us the amazing amount of troops here. It's actually crazy. I don't even understand it. Anyway, there you go. I guess I could take the loot too. Yeah, I don't know. It's very funny because now the look at the settlement. The settlement literally doesn't have any food remaining, and they're going to be well, clearly they're going to be starving out sometime soon, sometime very soon. And then there's only going to be 192 people in there, and 192 people versus 167 of ours. Yeah, we're definitely going to lose a couple of people in the first initial assault, because that's generally how things go. You know, it's the siege tax, like I said. It is generally just, you know, widely considered that that is going to be happening. But this is just crazy. Like, I'm actually really surprised. I'm actually wondering whether I should take Duelist here. I'll take Duelist. That's going to get me that 20% extra damage without wielding a shield, because I don't have a shield right now, so I think it kind of makes sense. Now, it does take quite some time to obviously starve out the opponent after you have 100% completed the starvation, or shall we say the depletion of the enemy's food. It does still take an extra 3, 4, 5 days, dependent on how many troops they actually have, for them to be fully starved. And once they are, then we can charge in, and then we can do a good thing. Yes, there we go. All right. So, let's do this. Okay, so we have a battering ram, and we have a siege tower. Obviously, this is the same kind of strategy that I'm going to use this time, where we are going to be going to the ladder side. Because the ladder side is right here. and look at what we can do. I'm obviously going to go first, which is absolutely stupid. Really stupid idea for me to go first, by the way, because I'm probably going to end up dying. Probably, right? Maybe? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it looks like I might, I don't know. Let me just jump down here. I want to just get away from the opponent right now. That's all I want to do. Okay. Yeah, that seemed to work. Okay, that was decent. Unfortunate that I am going to now get murdered, potentially. Nice. Nice. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that was fantastic. That was really, really nice, actually. Okay, and now, there's the thrown weapons. Okay, so yeah, thrown weapons, they really don't do that much damage at all. I'm actually surprised I missed that, to be honest. Okay, that was kind of... that was disappointing, wasn't it? Okay, and now I'm just going to shoot them in the face. Whoa, okay, headshots don't do anything. Yeah, okay. That is very disappointing, isn't it? Yeah, well, that's what happens, obviously. That's what happens when you have really, really good helmets. They just... yeah, it's just going to deflect that kind of stuff. But these guys are literally just militia, as we know. They are just militia, they're just random skirmishers and things like that. And we are inherently, look at this, we are forcing them into defending against our forces coming from the ladder side. And as a result, look at my battering ram now. My battering ram people are now coming in through the center. So we have basically met our own forces. Because look, we came from this side, and we went through the streets, we fought all of the people here, but then at the same time we have these people coming through the central gate. So if we had additional people, if we had additional enemies, that is, if we had them attacking us at the same time, or shall we say if they were still living, then we would have been able to completely and utterly obliterate them with very few issues. And that's the reason why I think this strategy is actually pretty good. It feels pretty good to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just working for me because we starved them out and stuff like that. But generally, I would say that this seems pretty nice. It feels comfortable, you know? It feels pretty comfortable. Anyway, there we go. I'm just going to take all of the loot. Show mercy, of course. And then we're just going to go into the trade screen. And, yeah, well, there's not that... yeah, there's basically nothing here for me to sell, unfortunately. As you can see right here, this is... I can literally bankrupt these guys in like 2 seconds, so that's kind of unfortunate. But we did take it, and this is what the Saranids now have. You can see Kulan has an army that is attempting to take Medini Castle back. And indeed, we've taken Tamna Castle and Amarad, and this is what I was attempting to do, because the army was over here by Medini Castle and Kasira and things like that, and I thought to myself, okay, I don't really want to stay here, so I basically went over to Tamna Castle, like I told you, and that was basically my entire strategy, because I wanted to try to pull the army off the front line so that our army could potentially do something, and I'm talking about our allied army, of course. And yeah, they didn't really capitalize on that much, but we did end up capturing those people. As you can see, we have a significant amount of the vassals. I'm going to assume that a peace agreement is going to be coming in soon, but anyway, that is going to be it for this series. Yeah, that is indeed the final episode for the series. I felt like it was a pretty good idea to finish on 20 episodes, and we've experienced quite a lot of what the mod has to offer. I actually feel like they've done an exceptional job with basically every single mod that is a part of the compilation, because we've got these wonderful new polearms that I have to admit I really, really enjoyed using. We've got this, look at this. This is an insane weapon. Absolutely fantastic weapon. And then obviously you have the fact that you can use warband units. You can use the warband troops and everything like that. And unfortunately, we didn't get an opportunity to see the Nords or anything like that in action, but they are just fantastic, and I'd highly recommend checking them out yourself if you want to do that. There is a load order and indeed the download link in the description, so if you want to see how to play with these mods, then, you know, it's in the description. Otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.